On today's show, the Lakers collapse against the Sacramento Kings. What's wrong with a team built around Luka and LeBron? We'll tell you. Today's Locked On NBA Game Night.
When that final buzzer rings, you know it's time for Locked On NBA Game Night. All the post-game reactions to every game across the league, every single night, with insights only the hosts at Locked On can provide. It's the true NBA fans' one stop for all the action. Every game, every night. It's Locked On NBA Game Night. Tipping off now.
And welcome. You're Locked On to NBA Game Night. My name is Nick Angstadt, host of the Locked On Mavericks podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thanks for being in every day or making Locked On NBA your first listen. Today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use that code Locked On NBA for $20 off your first purchase. Joining me, as always, from Locked On Bucks. What'd you see in the NBA tonight, Camille Davis?
Upsets. Outcomes that I did not expect. That's what I saw tonight in the NBA.
We got some upsets. We got some surprising performances. We got some touching moments.
Yeah.
And hilarious moments. So we'll talk about those and count it up, where we count the most interesting, fun things in the NBA, break it down the last three games. Talk about Cooper Flagg and his stardom, his star treatment. We'll talk about the Jazz's upset over the Cavs. But let's start here, Camille. The Lakers lose to the Sacramento Kings in Sacramento. Sacramento's just their 10th win of the season. The Lakers struggling over the last three. I've lost all three of them. We got to hear from Andy Kamenetsky on this one.
Kamenetsky, co-host of the Locked On Lakers podcast. The Lakers lose 124-112 to the Kings in Sacramento. One of the worst losses of the season. Story of the game, or at least the biggest story, 3-point shooting discrepancy. The Kings shot 65% from deep, 17 to 26. Former Laker Malik Monk made 7 of them. Former Laker and noted let him take as many threes as he wants. Icon Russell Westbrook made 4 of them. Conversely, only 2 Lakers, Luka Doncic and Gabe Vincent, made more than one triple tonight. 8 of 36 as a team from behind the arc, 22%. It's very difficult to win a game, even against a now 10-win Sacramento Kings team with that big of a gap from behind the arc. Luka Doncic, 42 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists, 4 steals. Totally wasted. For more Lakers coverage, make sure you're watching Locked On Lakers on YouTube and listening wherever you get your podcasts.
I can't believe Andy would admit that Luka was drinking the whole time that he had that game.
Wasted. Yes.
Totally wasted. Absolutely wasted. I've seen this game 100 times, maybe not 100, but I've seen this a bunch of times where Luka has an insane stat line. Mm-hmm. His team loses a game, and you look across the board, and I've seen this game too, where you look across the board and you go, who is he playing with? Who is this team that is around Luka and LeBron? LeBron's 41. I'm not putting much on LeBron right now. 22 points, and he missed all of his threes, sure, but 8 of 17 from the field, so that means he was, 8 of 12 from twos. Great. Hit all 6 of his free throws. He contributed to the game in a big way. Scored buckets. They needed buckets to be scored. He did that. Everybody else is on some kind of chopping block, some kind of block, whatever needs to be put. Jenny on the block, wherever J-Lo was, put them on that block, because this team around Luka and LeBron, without, the only guys really missing were Reaves and Rui, right? And Reaves is obviously a big absence. He could have been an all-star if he was staying healthy this season and the Lakers were a little better. But you look at the starting lineup. It's Marcus Smart, 4 years removed from a defensive player of the year, but also 4 years removed from probably being in a good rotation. Deandre Ayton, who seems like the Lakers have given up on him. He may have given up on them too. Puts up numbers sometimes at 13 and 13. Not inspired at all by any of that. Mm-hmm. Jake LaRavia. I started to go through this, Camille, and I'll throw it to you. Jake LaRavia, Marcus Smart, Deandre Ayton, Jared Vanderbilt, Jackson Hayes, Gabe Vincent, Dalton Connect. Do any of these players play in the rotations for the Thunder, the Nuggets, the Spurs, the Rockets, or the Timberwolves? Because I don't think so. I don't think any one of them does.
LaRavia might crack some of those rotations, but outside of that, I don't really think so. I don't think so. Ayton has had Ayton has had motor concerns since he's really gotten into the league at this point. And you see it at times. I mean, he's even mentioned, he's gonna get his touches. He's not really feeling it as much. He's like, I need the guys to give me the ball, so on and so forth. But it was partway through, I think the second quarter, when the Lakers only had 33 points. And I looked at the actual box score. LeBron and Luka had combined for like 22 of those points at that time. Like, it was crazy, the scoring load that the two of them carried throughout this game. Luka continued, like at halftime, Luka had 26, 10 of 14 from the field, and the Lakers were still losing by 7 at halftime with him putting up those numbers. On the flip side of that, the Kings were also looking for Luka on defense and attacking him, trying to make him defend. Even sent the Lakers into zone at certain points in the game to try and curb that. But they kept finding ways to try to exploit Luka defensively. And it just made me think again of like, this team is not currently constructed around Luka to be a championship team around what Luka does, what Luka needs. And the question I have for you as somebody who watched him a lot in Dallas, when you look at the supporting cast here in LA and you see what has worked with Luka in the past, how far away is this Lakers roster from around Luka from being one that actually fits his play style and also helps to cover his weaknesses as a defender by putting those other guys around him who can kind of embrace that a little bit for him?
Every time I've watched this team, and they're 8-10 in their last 18 after they started 15-4, I just can't believe they've won 23 games. You just look at the construction of it. You look at the guys around him, and so they get Reaves back, they get Rui back. LeBron maybe stays. We don't even know what LeBron's going to do next year or the year after that, but you're like 5 players away from really having something real around them. And it's sometimes, and they're not all like all-star level players, but what they had with the Mavericks is you had Kyrie, who I think Reaves was playing to a level that Kyrie was playing a couple years ago when the Mavs went to the finals. I think you could say that he was that good this season. And then you got to have your rim runners. You had your Gafford and your Lively, and Ayton and Jackson Hayes are just not to they're not to that level, especially defensively. That's the one thing. Lively was great switching out and doing all that. It doesn't take a lot for a Luka team to be good, which is why they've won these games. But then you ask him to do everything on the offensive end, create everything. Look at who was the third and fourth leading scorer on the Lakers. The two centers that Luka sets up all the time, right? Like, and or create some kind of double team for them to be able to get the ball off of a swing pass or whatever. Every single position has to be upgraded on this Lakers team except for Luka, Reaves, probably Rui's probably fine too. Like, that's it. It's just a disaster. Bare bones. It's a disaster around them.
Bare bones. And I mean, hey, the flip side to that, give the Kings credit. A Kings team that has taken many losses this season. 10 wins on the year now after beating the Lakers. They came out, Lakers hit them in the mouth first, and the Kings fought back. And after getting that lead in the first quarter, it felt like the Kings were just kind of like, we got the offense flowing. We're in a really good rhythm. DeMar DeRozan was out here hooping for this team. Malik Monk, like, they played some pretty good ball. And I think that might have also caught the Lakers off guard. Think when you see the Kings record, you're like, we should be able to go in here and handle this. It's not that easy sometimes.
I think they did this one for Dennis Schroeder, like just
they had to have
take up for our guy who went at the star of the other player. You mentioned the start. The Lakers started 19-10. They were up 19-10, so they're up by 9 with halfway through the first quarter. By 3 minutes left in the second quarter, it was 57-41 Sacramento. That's a 47-22. I don't want to call it a run, but like a stretch after the beginning of that. I mean, and it almost happened as soon as that bench came in, where you're just it's Luka with Gabe Vincent, Jackson Hayes, Jared Vanderbilt, like looking around going, how is this the lineup that he is having to play with right now? There's just no shot for anybody to do anything besides these guys. You mentioned the Kings. I do want to give credit to the Kings. And we don't have a Locked On Kings host yet. There is one on the horizon. I can confirm and say sources have told me. The source is me. Kings just dominated from 3. 17 of 26 threes. They only took 26 threes. They hit 17 of them. He's incredible. Malik Monk, former Laker, 7 of 9. Former Laker Russell Westbrook, 4 of 8. He's been hitting his threes this season. DeMar DeRozan, 32 points, took 0 threes. Just a patented DeMar DeRozan game. And a night where we're talking about another like Raptors legend too. But this is a wild one for them where they get just an incredible offensive output from those 3 guys. And it was because the Lakers defensive units, like they just didn't have any answers.
No.
Last thing. LeBron has this jersey patch, right? They're putting on a 23 seasons. Like, and this is great. Are you for the jersey patch?
I'm here for it.
The Kings Twitter account after the game said,
no.
Bad day to be a jersey patch debut.
They're not lying. They're not lying. See, that's what makes those types of like comments the best, because it's like, dang, you have to say that, but also true.
True. All the comments are like, everybody with Lakers like profile pictures and like emojis and stuff are like, bad day to be a team without a title. And you're like, all right, just take the L and go home. Like take the L and go home. See what happens. Sometimes
you got to be like that. Just like you said, take that L and go home. As a Packers fan over here, I've just been quiet all weekend, Nick. I've just been quiet.
As a Bengals fan, I don't say anything about any of the football. None of it happened this year. None of it happened. The Lakers lost their last 3. Like I said, they're 8-10 in their last 18 after a 15-4 start. Their losses, they're 13-1 in clutch games. That means 13 of their 14 losses are not clutch. 6 of them are by 20 points or more this year. And all of them, all the 13 that are not clutch losses are all double digits, including this one. This was a 12-point loss. Like if they lose, they're gonna lose.
Yeah, that one loss that wasn't double digit was against the Bucks, where the Bucks got them in the clutch during their most recent road trip, which is part of this 3-game losing trip that the Lakers are currently on.
Coming up, the Cavs get upset by the Utah Jazz. Jazz, huge bounce back game. We'll talk about that and more. Locked On NBA Game Night continues coming up next. Today's episode of Locked On NBA Game Night brought to you by Game Time. Fitting. During basketball season, there's nothing like being in the building. You can hear us talk about it. You can hear all of our hosts that are all in arenas all across America and I guess Canada. Actually, Sean is in a train. He's not in there in Canada. The energy, the crowd, the big first run that gets everyone on their feet. Fans want to be there for those moments, especially when a Kyle Lowry gets a moment like we're going to talk about in the Raptors game. But you can be there with Game Time. Game Time helps you, gives fans the advantage back, making it incredibly easy to score amazing tickets, fast, simple, and without the guesswork. Prices are included at up front with fees and everything. You know exactly what you're going to pay, which I love that. They have the zone deals that help you unlock great seats at even better value. You can see the view from your seat, which is crucial. If you're going to go to an arena you've never been to, you got to know exactly what the view is. Whether it's an NBA game or another live event, everything is right there in one place. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use this code, LOCKEDONNBA, all one word, LOCKEDONNBA, LOCKEDONNBA. You get $20 off your first purchase. Download Game Time today and get in on the action with Game Time. We're also brought to you by ZocDoc. Finding a doctor you actually like can feel like discovering a diamond in the rough, or finding like a good draft prospect that nobody else was looking for, the sleeper right there. You want to find someone in network, nearby, with availability, all that, all the bells and whistles, but you also want to find a doctor that listens, makes you feel comfortable, explains things clearly, and helps you walk out feeling confident about your next step. Your diamond in the rough doctor exists, and finding them is easy with ZocDoc. You can search specialties or symptoms quickly and get the right fit. You can choose in-person or video visits if you want to do that too, so you can check all those different things. ZocDoc is a free app and website that helps you find and book high-quality in-network doctors so you can choose someone that you truly connect with. Stop putting off those doctor's appointments. Go to ZocDoc.com/LockedOnNBA to find and instantly book a doctor you love today. ZocDoc, ZocDoc.com/LockedOnNBA. That's ZocDoc. Thanks to ZocDoc for sponsoring this message. Thanks for hanging out with us on Locked On NBA Game Night, being part of the show, listening every day. Go check out the Locked On NBA Daily Show later in this feed with Wes Hayes and Matt. Great stuff all the time over there. We have all these shows. You can go listen to Locked On Lakers. Very soon you can listen to Locked On Kings and hear what they have to say about a game like this. And we all wouldn't be here without David Locke. And so we got to hear from him. David Locke of Locked On Jazz, on the Jazz getting a bounce-back win against the Cavs.
Jazz came to Cleveland after a 55-point loss to the Charlotte Hornets. The Cleveland Cavaliers, hosting the Jazz, had won 5 of 7, and everything was right in Cavalier world after their win against Minnesota. So, of course, the Jazz jumped out to a 17-point lead early, but then you knew what was going to happen is the Cavaliers were going to take over, and the Cavaliers did. They went up by 10, and they led by 10 at the half, and then all of a sudden the Jazz came back, and we were tied heading to the fourth quarter. But then you knew it was going to happen because of but it didn't. Keyonte George had 32 points, and Lauri Markkanen had 28, and the Utah Jazz stymied the Cleveland Cavaliers half-court offense, which has not been very good all year. It's 20th in the NBA, and defeated the Cavaliers in the fourth quarter, winning this game, going away 123-112. The Jazz three-point shooting on the night was the story. Also, the Jazz shot 44% from three, and the Cavaliers are the worst defensive team in the NBA against the three. It comes back to bite them yet again. It's the first time the Jazz have beat Donovan Mitchell since he came to the Cavaliers, and the Jazz get 32 from Keyonte and 28 from Lauri, two of the most consistent players in the NBA all season long. A big win for the Jazz, a stunner to the NBA after losing by 55 to Charlotte their last time out. So maybe everything wasn't quite right in Cavalier world.
First of all, quick shout out to Cody Williams, a minus 53 over the last two games, but he is a positive. He's a +7 in this one. So shout out to him for getting back on the board.
Shout out to him and shout out to big bro Jalen defending his little brother. Like, hey, he's been playing well. He's been playing well. Plus minus is noisy. He's been playing well.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. But Locke said it. I mean, Keyonte George, Lauri Markkanen, 32 and 28 from those guys. Like, they've just been so consistent. Keyonte has taken such a big leap forward. Got to see him play against the Mavs recently, and you just see the ferocity he takes to the rim, the creativity he takes in getting to the rim. Like 12 free throws, he's like finding ways to get around guys, and his quick first step gets him past defenders. Like, man, he has been absolutely awesome. 9 assists for him too.
He's somebody who, like you mentioned, how he's beating guys off the dribble. That was part of his game that wasn't quite there consistently in the first 2 years in the league. So seeing him be able to create those advantages off the dribble by himself, it's been really, really impressive. He's also the first Jazz guard with double-digit 30-point games since Donovan Mitchell left the team. So he's the first one to do that since Donovan Mitchell did it back in 2022. And the thing about Keyonte, too, is that, as David was mentioning, the Cavs came back. You thought the Cavaliers was going to happen. But in that third quarter, Keyonte had half of his points in the third quarter, helping the Jazz come back from being down by like 10 points and then help regain control. Like, watching him and then seeing what Lauri Markkanen can also do, like the two of them combining for 60 points on the night.
Yeah.
Lauri is 10th in the league in scoring right now. Like, he is pouring it up in that column, and he's also getting the rebounds. Like, it's been impressive watching that duo really grow together.
If you're a Jazz fan, how are you feeling about a win like this?
Probably like I got some water in the desert. Like, it feels good. Like, you kind of know you want to starve a little bit more because you're like, there's something in the distance. I can see it. I can see it. Is that a
well? What they're seeing is losing their draft pick because it's top 8 protected.
Top 8
They're
protected.
7th right now. The Mavs did get a win tonight, and so they stayed there. They could have fallen below the Mavericks, or higher than the Mavericks, below the Mavericks. I don't know how to put that, but. I mean, it's such a conflicting thing as now that I'm covering a team that should be tanking. Like this one, we'll talk about Charlotte, we'll talk about Brooklyn, like we'll talk about Indiana. Like all these teams are just in this weird thing where you're like, all right, well, I want this team to win, but man, upset there for the Cavs. Go listen to Danny Cunningham about the Cavs, and this is a tough one for them. Let's hear from him.
Danny Cunningham here at Rocket Arena after the Cavs fall to the Utah Jazz 123-112 on Monday night. Let's talk about this one for 94 feet. And the Cavs had a candidate on Saturday for their best win of the season when they beat the Minnesota Timberwolves. And on Monday, they turned around and now they have another candidate for their worst loss of the season. This was a game where I think it looked like the Cavs overlooked Utah. Utah on Saturday lost by 55 points to the Charlotte Hornets. And they came out on Monday and they looked like the hungrier team. They looked like the more forceful team. They did all the little things well. And it didn't help that the Cavs couldn't shoot the basketball for the early portions of this game. They fell behind 21-4, I believe it was, early on in this game. They did fight back. They had a great second quarter, outscored Utah 40-20. In that quarter, they led by 8 at halftime. And then in the third quarter, Utah scored on, I believe, its first 8 possessions of the quarter, and they just took the game right back and then never looked back. And I thought, saw the Cavs take some steps forward, but it seems like every time it looks like this team is starting to turn the corner, they run into a wall. And that wall on Monday night was the Utah Jazz. Now they've got 2 really big games coming up against the Philadelphia 76ers, both of them in Philly Wednesday and Friday, and I will talk to you guys after those.
Go listen to Locked On Cavs for more on that one. For the Mavs, they get a win against the Brooklyn Nets. Maybe the Mavs don't want to be winning games, but they did get this one. Cooper Flagg was absolutely awesome. He had his worst game of the season probably against the Chicago Bulls a couple games ago. Just 11 points and 5 turnovers. He looked like he was just frustrated and all that. Came back 27 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Was just masterful in this game. Was getting double teamed most of the second half by the Nets. Just superstar treatment from a guy already, a 19-year-old in his rookie season. This was a really good game from him.
It really was. Season high with blocks, too. Tied as season high with blocks. Like, not only is he making that impact offensively, but you're seeing him make those splash plays defensively. Like, he had this one stretch in the game where you saw the two-way talent of him, where he goes, he makes the basket, and then on the other end, he gets this block, and you're just like, yo. Like, that all looked very, very smooth for Cooper to be doing this. Then he turned his ankle during this game for a team, as you already know, super shorthanded, and he came back. And I was just kind of like, Cooper is tough. And on the broadcast, they mentioned, like, we asked Cooper, like, how does he continue to deal with the nicks and the pains and coming back? And he said, I was raised that way. So I didn't know you could be raised on pain tolerance necessarily, but he got it. He got it. Cooper now has more 25-5 and 5 games than the rest of the rookie class combined. This man is hooping.
Love that stat. Don't ask Kelly Flagg about how you can be raised like that, because she will probably tell you how he was raised like that. He's also 19 years old, just turned 19, made of rubber, right? These guys just bounce back from anything. It feels like very big difference between some of the other players that we're covering right now. But Najee Marshall's also awesome in this game. 22 points. I think he had 9 assists, and 12 of his 22 came in the fourth quarter. He just carved up the Nets and was able to get to the rim, was able to play off of some of the Cooper Flagg double teams that the Nets threw at him. And I thought he was just absolutely awesome. He's been great and has kind of been the one lone healthy guy in his entire calendar year since the trade. Like, it kind of been torture for him to just go out there every night. So for him to have another good game like this, I think was a really good thing for him. But
nice.
Mavs get a win. Brooklyn Nets lose like they want to, and we're watching the tank standings, I guess, is what we're all doing.
Hey, listen, you mentioned other teams who are like, hey, we should be tanking, but we're getting wins. After All-Stars, when it all really starts to shut down. So now you can enjoy any of the wins that happen to come. You two have
they're all free. They're all free wins right now,
because they're going to be tanked. Like you're not even going to believe some of the efforts that come about after All-Star break.
Probably true. Probably true. You won't believe the games that we're going to talk about next, because the Raptors had a really awesome moment. The Clippers get another win, and then Boston falls to the Pacers. The Pacers. Another team that's getting some free wins. We'll talk about that and more coming up.
You know, I carry a lot of responsibility in my household. If something happened to me, there would be serious consequences. We have a mortgage. We got tuition. We got everyday bills. Those aren't going anywhere if something happens to me. And I know that's an overwhelming feeling, but I'm taking steps to protect my family by getting life insurance through Ethos. Ethos makes getting life insurance fast, easy, and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. There's no medical exam. You just answer a few simple health questions. You can get up to $3 million in coverage. Some policies are as low as $30 a month. And as of March 2025, Business Insider named Ethos the #1 no medical exam instant life insurance provider. Ethos has 4.8 out of 5 stars on Trustpilot with over 3,000 reviews. Protect your family with life insurance from Ethos now by going to ethos.com/lockdownNBA. In as little as 10 minutes, you can get your free quote and up to $3 million in coverage at ethos.com/lockdownNBA. That's ethos.com/lockdownNBA. Ethos.com/lockdownNBA. Application times and rates may vary.
Big chicken, baby.
I think a lot. I'm very smart.
Take that for that.
Count it up. Count it up. Count it up. Count it up. Count it up.
It's Counted Up. We're counting the most interesting, fun things in the NBA. Let's finish off our 3 games. The Philadelphia 76ers just dominate the Toronto Raptors. This was at the start of the night. Usually we pick a couple of games. We're like, all right, this is the one that we're going to start with. And this was the one that I had picked. I was like, oh, there's 2 teams in the playoff race in the East. Should be a good game. And then I checked the score, and it was like Sixers were up by like 30 at one point in this game. Just an absolute no-show from the Raptors. But there's a real special moment in the fourth quarter. Let's hear from Sean Woodley of Locked On Raptors on this one.
If there is such thing as a feel-good blowout, we saw that tonight in Toronto. The Raptors lose to the Sixers on the second night of the back-to-back after pulling out a thriller. On Sunday, they split the pair with the Sixers. And really, the big takeaway from this one is okay, who cares? The Toronto Raptors finished the first half of their schedule at 24-17, way ahead of where anyone thought they'd be coming into the season on a 48-win pace with a top 5 defense, which in the first half of this game seemed like it was very much at risk of falling all the way down to, number 25, 30, because the Sixers had themselves one of the craziest shooting halves you will ever see. At one point in this game in the second quarter, they had a true shooting percentage better than 100% into the second quarter. That's how ridiculous the shooting variance was in this game. When VJ Edgecombe is hitting consecutive contested pull-up threes on your dome, it's just not your night. And this game was very much saved vibes-wise, as late in the game, after chants of "We want Lowry" rang out throughout Scotiabank Arena, Kyle Lowry, likely in his final game in Toronto, the greatest Raptor of all time, checked in for a couple minutes to a massive standing ovation. He missed 3 threes as he tried to get one to go down to make the crowd pop even more. Couldn't get that to happen, but still, very cool stuff to see a Raptors legend in probably his final game in the city he won a championship in get that moment in front of the crowd. Very cool stuff. And the Raptors, you lose the game. You got the really good split, though, against the Sixers with that fun win on Sunday, and they move forward with a 24-17 record halfway through the season.
So free losses too for these teams. Like when does win and losses count? Because Sean was like, "Who cares about a blowout?"
I think in this one in particular too, because of how well the Sixers shot it, you're just kind of like you just tip your cap and be like, I don't know what else you do. Like the Sixers shot 73% from the field in the first half. What do you do with that? You tip. Hey, you got it. It's not our night. You got it.
My question about the Kyle Lowry moment.
Count it up.
First of all, do you like the moment that they gave him a second, that the Sixers allowed him to have that?
I do. And I say that as someone who has been a fan of the Bucks for years and now covers the Bucks. I don't have the best feelings about the Toronto Raptors, the team that invented the wall, but it was a really, really cool moment. I'm glad they gave him that, especially because it might be his last time in that city as an active player.
Do the Bucks have a player that you would do this for? I was trying to think of a Mavericks one, like a current Mavericks one.
If they were getting ready to retire and it's like their last time here, they would definitely do it for Chris Middleton, I think.
That's a really good one.
Yeah,
that's a good one. I don't think the Mavs have a player that is still active though, because none of them from the 2011 team are still playing.
Dang, 2011 was a long time ago.
Yeah, you're telling me. Dwight Powell. If Dwight Powell ever goes anywhere else and comes back, that'd be the moment. Dwight Powell's 34, by the way. Like, you feel like Dwight Powell's still 27, 28. He was diving on loose balls tonight. The Charlotte Hornets lose to the Clippers. Clippers just keep rolling on in this game, 117-109. Clippers get the win. Kawhi Leonard, just another really good game. I think he's going to be an all-star. Again, 35 points for him just on 19 shots. James Harden, 32 points and 10 assists in this one. And my first question,
count it up.
Scale of 0 to 5. How confident are you the Clippers are going to make the playoffs? Means make it through the play-in and make the playoffs.
Ooh, on 2.
2.
A 2.
Not very confident, but man, if Kawhi keeps playing like this,
yeah,
and Harden plays like he has been, they have their depth. They'll get some guys back. Derrick Jones Jr. didn't play in this game. Memphis is ahead of them. They're about to trade John Morant.
Yeah.
Portland is ahead of them, and I'm not real confident in that team, unless I guess they're going to get Drew Holiday back soon, but not super confident in them. Warriors ahead of them. Like I think that this team can get through, and I think it may be tough, and they may end up playing the Thunder as the 8 seed, but I'm going to go 3 because I think that this Clippers team is playing really well right now.
Yeah, they can't. My thing with the Clippers is always, when we get to March, April, what is the health status of your main stars?
I don't care. I just need them to get there. For this question, I just need them to get to that spot. I don't care about they are in April.
They might not get there either. I hope that's not the case. But with the injury history, you never know with those guys.
Did you see what the Wall did for LaMelo Ball in this game?
That's not ringing a bell.
Okay.
Count it up.
The Clippers Wall passed out clown masks like the one that scared LaMelo in the viral Halloween video the other night. My question is, do you think it worked?
That was just for LaMelo? I thought they just had the mask on they do stuff.
No, remember that video where there's the clown, the Hornets video where there's the clown hiding behind and LaMelo like smacks him. He's like, like freaks out.
That's beautiful. What's the question? Because I'm giving the Wall.
Do you think it worked?
Well, they won, so it worked in some form, some fashion. They got what they came there for, and that was a victory for the Clippers.
That's right. Victory for the Pacers, 3 in a row for them. Let's hear from Tony East on how the Pacers got this win.
3 in a row. Tony Easter with Locked On Pacers, walking out of Gainbridge Fieldhouse for the Pacers thanks to a Pascal Siakam spinning floater with about 6 seconds to go. Beat the Celtics 98-96. First win for the Pacers with under 100 points in a game since 2022, but their defense was solid. That was a big part of them getting this win. Having the Celtics limited without Jaylen Brown from 3 was a big part of that, and the Pacers defended and were connected for the 3rd game in a row. They're playing a lot better, and Siakam, of course, was brilliant late in this game, but good play from the Pacers centers, particularly Jay Huff on offense, who had 20 points. They all defended at least pretty well in this game, and the Pacers have a little bit of momentum. Their ball movement, their player movement, very crisp of late. The vibe's obviously much better when wins start happening. Pacers now not in last place in the NBA in record as they've got the Raptors and Pelicans in here as they look to keep winning. We'll have much more on Locked On Pacers.
Let's hear from John Corrales, Locked On Celtics.
Celtics went too cold for too long and drop their second straight game.
In 3.
Indiana, I'm John Corrales of the Locked On Celtics podcast. They didn't have Jaylen Brown, but look, they won a lot of these margins. They took more shots. They made one more basket than the Pacers. They took more free throws. They had more offensive rebounds. They had more points off of turnovers. They had more second chance points. They did a lot of the things that you would think, hey, this would lead to a Celtics win. But the Pacers shot 16 of 37 from 3, and the Celtics were 9 of 35. So when you get outshot by 7 at the 3-point line, it's going to be tough if you don't do a lot of the other things. The Celtics went scoreless for about 6 minutes, spanning the end of the second quarter into the third. They had a 9-point lead that turned into a Pacers 13-point lead. And yeah, they made a big run. They cut back into it, and they had a chance at the end. But you can't go that cold without Jaylen Brown. You can't go that cold for that long, and it just was too much to overcome. The Celtics, another clutch loss. They've had problems in the clutch, and this is just another example of still not being good enough to finish these clutch games. Much more coming up on the Locked On Celtics podcast.
We'll have more on all of our individual podcasts. Go listen to Locked On Bucks with Camille and Justin. Go listen to Locked On Mavs. We got more there. Pacers, Celtics, all kinds of great stuff all over the place. So go listen to those shows and go listen to Locked On NBA daily on this feed, wherever you're listening, watching this. Guys, thanks so much for listening to Locked On NBA Game Night